Hello, my name is GregTech and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. I've just switched one of our recipes because for some reason, I don't know why, I had it in the, I think it was in the wrong, I had it in the wrong thing, so I was, to get this trinium carbonite stuff, I was actually smelting it in the alloy blast smelter, but you can actually get it from mixing the dust and then smelting the dust just in a regular blast furnace. And our blast furnaces are running at, you know, much higher voltage, so they're just quicker. I mean, you can do it either way, but for my base, it is definitely quicker to just do it in the blast furnace. So yeah, there that goes. As we can see, we have lots of ingots. Too cool. This is on block mode though, so it does a huge batch all at once. It's not getting backed up. But all right, so there's that, and hopefully that should work with the chemical plant. Just double check. Yeah, I hope something doesn't. I hope it doesn't get like clogged up. Or because I have so many circuits in here. I really should just get to the alloy blast smelter, the mega. Because then you could have a different circuit for each of these and you don't have to worry about things like this getting mixed up. I really haven't had much issue, to be honest. Surprisingly, with the amount of smelting we have done, I haven't really had conflicts very often, even with all these different things, which, yeah, is pretty surprising, to be honest. But yeah, it would just be easier if we did do the mega. And I think when I do switch over, that's when we'll sort out all our things. We'll just do them directly to fluids instead of solidifying them into ingots. Most of the time I just find this easier for most of the things because you rarely ever of all the things, usually you need like plates is the thing, so you have to turn them into ingots anyway. Occasionally you do need the actual fluid, but alright, so I'm gonna let that run and we will get our thing done. I think we're good. We'll get the chemical plant upgraded to the final tier. Now, I don't know if... One thing I didn't think about was this solar... Don't we need, like... We need, like, a pretty high tier. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, this needs to be pretty dang high tier. You do get 40 buckets from it, from one thing, but... Yeah, that's something, because I don't really have... I don't have it set up to accept that much power. Also, don't we need to... I think we need to upgrade these as well. Hold on. That would mean we would... No, we would just do... I'm assuming you can just do 2 UHV hatches, right? What's the UEV? Oh, I can't... I haven't tried crafting up a UEV energy hatch anyway. Yeah, our assembly lines aren't quite there yet. I think we could do this also. Yeah, we're not quite there yet. This, as we know, our Pretty. Oh, hello. Infinity fluid pipes, electric pumps. Didn't realize that. Well, I knew that was coming, but I didn't know we were quite there with the infinity yet. Yeah. All right. So probably 2 UHV energy hatches, which means I'm gonna have to upgrade this. This is 25. There are more of those. Oh, I'm thinking about it. Yeah. We need quite a few LUV machine casings. Or UHV machine casings. Alright, so yeah, this is a pretty big thing. Although that's just neutronium. We are doing pretty well with neutronium, though, since I have upgraded that blast furnace to UHV. Yeah, we're up to 2,800 from, like, nothing. Alright, we are back. I've done a few things, and I've kind of looked ahead a little bit. One, I was debating whether I wanted to break this down, and I just decided I didn't feel like messing with all this underneath. It all works. It's set up for rocket fuel and all sorts of stuff, so I didn't want to mess with any of this. So I just basically replaced all the casings, and it is formed again. It does need more, at least my setup needs more. It needs 78 casings with my current setup. The 70 casings there assumes that every single thing on the bottom is replaced with like an input bus or input hatch, output hatch, or whatever. So if you replace every single one of these on the bottom, you need 70 casings minimum, I believe. So did that, and the tungsten steel pipe casings are the highest tier. The only thing that's not the highest tier is the coil. Because we have flux electrum. There is actually awakened draconium. Well, there's a couple more higher, but I don't think I'm going to replace those yet. I don't think we need to. So, yeah. So that's set up. And we will get that connected to power. I'm just crafting up. It might even be done now. Nope, not done yet. Crafting up right now. I'm just going to connect it here directly to right here. I was like trying to decide, I'm like, where am I going to put this? And I'm like, yeah, let me just put it here. I was debating whether to run it out of that one, because this is kind of not what I had planned, but who cares? All right, so I'm just going to run the superconductor wires over to here for that. But before we can start using that, we did need to get it upgraded, but we're going to need to get a couple things here. One, couple plasmas. We can craft them up, not a problem. Gel cryotheum we have. Fiddly catalyst, gravity stars, not a problem. We do have we are using gravity stars, right? Yeah. That's another star in neutronium. What we do need is biocells. We also need this infinite mutation catalyst. That's not too bad. But we do need biocells right here. And to do that, this is its own huge kind of process. So basically, we're going to work towards this stuff. Namely, this recipe. Yeah, I didn't realize it actually required titanium. Miscalculated that. Because titanium we need to get from fusion, or I don't think it would be viable getting it from... Yeah, that's a whole bucket for one. That'd be 4 buckets. That would be kind of crazy. Alright, gonna have to look into that because it is 4-to-1 ratio. Oh, just kidding. JK. There's better ratios. All right, so 1 to 2, 1 to 1, 4 to 1. 150. I don't know. I don't remember seeing one that high. I'm gonna have to look that one up. But I need to craft up a bacterial vat. We do have the raw growth catalyst. It's what goes in our thing over here. So I'm gonna have to craft up another biovat, probably right here. I have gone ahead and got that. But before I do that, or while I'm doing that, or simultaneously doing that, I'm gonna have to get some more bees, because you can either get seaweed. We're gonna need seaweed somewhere here. Do we need seaweed? Oh yes, for the tea seti seaweed. You either need to collect seaweed from tea seti, or you get it from seaweed broth, which is its own kind of craziness, or you just get a seaweed princess and you produce seaweed combs and you get seaweed that way. So yes, that's what we're going to do. I do need to get some of these bees. So get a biovat crafted up and work on some bees is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, we are back and I have built a couple things here. One, I have built the cleaner room back, and I did it the smallest possible. Actually didn't know you could build it without those filter things on top. But yeah, so there is a 3x3x4. It's basically enough for one thing. Well, technically you could probably have a second, if you did like a machine hull or whatever on the back. So yeah, basically just a maintenance hatch, machine hull to get the power in, and then a ZPM hatch for the controller. And we needed that so we can get the petri dish. I have gone ahead and done that. I think I got it on the 8th try, so that wasn't too bad. Getting that part of it. Now, I have also got the seaweed bee, and we have up to 43,000 seaweed combs. Unfortunately, realize that was voided. If we need honey again, I'll unvoid that, but I avoid this silky comb as well. Yeah, so seaweed comb. Unfortunately, it is super, super slow, and you need a lot of it, so I don't know how viable that will actually be unless we get a whole bunch of centrifuges. Mega centrifuge. One. So that is just running at the moment. We're up to 3,500. But unfortunately that goes pretty dang quick when you are crafting up this seaweed stuff, because it is 64 for one of these, so it goes by really quick. I have set up the next biovat. I did move this stuff a little bit. As I'm looking at that, I feel like I should have maybe moved it over one. I don't know, I was looking at this one, it's like 2, but it did a space of 2 as well. But there is the fluid heater, and then that. I do have to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with these to turn this on. So basically when either one of these is below lower than I want, we could have it turn on. I'm not sure how I want to do that though, to be honest. Maybe I could do a level emitter or something. I don't know. I'm not really good at doing, like, what would that be? And or something like that. Logic. I don't know. So if I have like 2 wireless detector covers. I don't know, we'll see. I just don't want one to, like, turn it off if we need it in the other one. But anyway, it's gone in there, and then it's going to go in here. As we can tell, it's off because it's telling it we are full here. I haven't set all this up yet. We do need UV for this recipe. Now, this recipe, I was like, oh yeah, we could just do, you know, that one. Then I was like, oh wait, we don't have biocells. But when we get biocells, we can start doing that. And then I was like, oh wait, we'll do this one. And then I realized, oh, we don't have that petri dish yet. We have to get this petri dish by using the biocells and the catalyst medium. So can't do that one yet. We have to do the bad version until we can get enough biocatalyst medium to get the better one. We'll definitely switch to this one because you use less stem cells and you don't use tritanium as a bit of a pain. But eventually we'll do this one. We're just not there yet. We need to get this. Now, we'll need to set this up, and we need... What did we need? Okay, so the first one is 94, 140, 150. Where's the... Right, there it is. Gotta... So 150 is Nequadria, which, you know, it's the top tier. 140 is enriched. All right, so 140 is enriched, 150 is Nequadria. That's not the end of the world. I mean, we have 58,000 of that. Now, let's see, this one. Yeah, I just did the things. That's right. That wasn't too difficult. All right, I do need to get this hooked up, and I think I'm actually going to... I was debating whether upgrading all these as well, because now we are pumping out the power. Did I mention that I hooked up a third steam turbine? I don't remember if I mentioned that. We have 3, so we're producing about 9 million EU per tick. It is using slightly more americium than the 2 fusion reactors are producing. Not by a lot, but it is definitely using a bit more. So, 3rd fusion reactor is on the way as well. I'm just going to keep producing more and more of those, I think. Okay, let me get this all hooked up. Let me figure out... Yeah, I think I'm going to... I'll probably upgrade this to UV, I think. And then we need... I'll probably do transformer. This doesn't need to be higher. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That'll be a transformer. So probably just 2 energy etches, I think. And a bunch of transformers. Okay. So I realized I was probably overthinking this a bit, to be honest. And I'm just gonna do the detector cover on the raw growth, and then the raw growth goes in 2 different places. So if we need the growth catalyst, it'll be running. Yeah, so that'll be running if we need the growth catalyst, which will pull it out of here, and that'll turn this on. Or this will be running and pulling out of there and turning that on. So yeah, I was like overthinking it. And ironically, I kind of set up the same thing right here. That is the... I have a super tank of mutagen if we need it. But I didn't find a need for thousands of buckets of mutagen at this point. So... Alright, so there we go. There is our raw growth catalyst in there. We got our tritanium. We have some seaweed. It just hasn't updated. We should have the crystal shards. We should have everything in there. I'm not going to set this up automating yet, because Um, sorry, I'm like talking here. And I think we need a, yeah, 14. I basically want this to run once. We have just a ULV output hatch to get the, because we're only going to get a little amount in it. So I need to do it a few times to get the amount up for a much bigger hatch. But, alright, so there we go. We got our bacterial vat with our that. And that's going to get us the raw bio catalyst medium. So let me work on that. I don't see any use for this other than getting this petri dish. I don't see any other use other than heating it up. So I don't think we're going to run into this problem. You literally only use it in the fluid heater. Now I do need to hook this up to power. Spell. I just did a UV one at this point. The other one I didn't bother upgrading. I just threw a transformer down, but this one was like, let's just do a UV one. Alright, so yeah, we only got the 2. But we will, I think it takes about 4 or 5 to get it up into the bucket region. It might do like 10 next time, and then it'll be like 150, and then it's like 1,000. So yeah, let's do T-SETI. We'll do 12. And eventually we'll get this all fully automated. But I did enough of this unknown crystal shards to do 4 batches. Alright, let me continue doing this, and we'll get this up. Okay, we're getting there. I did want to take a quick sell of this so we could finish that quest finally. There we go. So, yeah, this is a little bit slower than I was initially thinking it would be. And one of the main problems is this seaweed is very, very slow. Obviously, we're going to be switching the... We'll be switching the recipe, but that means we'll need even more seaweed. We got a better ratio for it, but this is very, very, very slow crafting this stuff up. And I don't know if I want to do one more. I'm just gonna, I have to keep doing it, but then I will replace it with, once I get 8 buckets, we'll replace it with the LV, and then, so I'll keep doing that. Or I could just do, I could just keep taking buckets from it until we get 32. Doesn't really matter how we do it. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to go about doing this. I mean, we could just have it running. Well, we probably will just have it running permanently. Crafting this stuff up. I'm just wondering if the, you can see it running over there, that whatchamacallit, I can never remember the name of that. What's it called? Processing factory. Yeah, I wonder if that's better, or would it be better multiple single blocks in a processing array? I'm not sure. All right, so now that is over halfway. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. And then we'll automate this with the regulator and then this stuff. But I'm gonna have to get this up at least to, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be bigger than that, but the bigger hatches just give you more leeway. Okay, we are back and gone ahead and got enough for half of the output hatch. And I have set up our really basic kind of automation with regulator. This is kind of what I have chosen. Wireless fluid detector to turn on the regulator until it gets to that amount, and then the advanced redstone receiver to turn on the regulator. So that is kind of my really basic setup, and that just keeps half the thing. You can see it actually working right there. Dropping until it gets to around 64 buckets, and then it turns off. And that's what these three things are doing. All right, so time to move on. We'll get that stuff in there. We will also deal with this too. Currently, that just continues to put the rods in there, which isn't really an issue. We'll throw a thing on there to turn off this conveyor. So same kind of thing. We'll just have it. We'll have it turned off when the thing is not running. All right, we do have this. This needs to be 1. All right, and there we go. Where is this? Right, I took 2 buckets out to test that with, and I forgot to put it back in. All right, perfect. It's not exactly at 64 buckets, but we'll take it. Okay, so now we need to craft up the biocells. So 2 buckets gets you 32 biocells, which is not terrible. But the thing I have over there hasn't been upgraded yet. I will upgrade all that stuff to UV. I just haven't done it yet, obviously. So what we're gonna do is actually, isn't our, just thinking, we set up our chemical reactor, didn't we? A big one. That's just our diamonds being compressed. Which, by the way, we have 8,800 blocks of diamond, 9,000 exquisite diamond. Everything gets pulverized down. Yeah, alright, so I actually have it in here. I'm going to make a recipe for that. I was just going to do it manually, but now that I'm looking at this, let's just do a recipe for this. We're going to need it anyway. Alright, we do get mutagen back, which isn't like the most exciting thing at this point. Although I could put it in that other... Like, I could put it back in that chest, or the tank that I actually... It's like almost empty. I don't remember if I named this. I didn't. Let's name it right now before I forget. Mega chemical reactor. Okay, so that will put the 2 things in there, the cosmic neutronium and the 32 stem cells. Do I, before I turn that on, I'm like, do I have the correct... I do have output there. I don't think I actually have a... I don't think I have an output hatch. I may set up something for this. I don't know. Was the output bus? Almost thinking like ender fluid conduit. Possibly. Yeah, let me... I'm just gonna do this. And then we'll see. Okay. Let's do biocells. We got everything there. Forgot to put that cosmetronium back in the A system, but there we go, pulverizing it down. Alright, there it is. There it is. Is this high enough tier? I think I turned it off when I was breaking cabling underneath. I didn't want something to get voided. Okay, well there we go. It is running. We are getting our stuff. Sounds like the base is like blowing up. But yeah, that's our diamonds. We're up to 261,000. This is all the industrial diamonds compressed down, or the diamond dust compressed down into blocks. You can see it. There it goes. I don't know, I kind of like that little setup we did. That way the blocks of diamonds that we need for infinity are not being, like the dust isn't being wasted or something like that. Basically just waiting on cosmetronium at this point, which I need to increase production of. Alright. There we go. There is that. So I couldn't remember if we had an extra space on it. Oops, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, so I'm thinking we could just do like oh, I can't do two separate things. Okay, I don't remember what... We already have a mutagen export. I don't remember why we have a mutagen export. Is that... That might have been... I don't remember what that is for. Was that when we were making mutagen over by the bees? I don't remember why that's a mutagen out. Alright, well I'll just throw one on here. I don't know. Mutagen. Import. So if we ever craft up biocells, we'll get the mutagen, it'll dump it back in there. And then that mutagen will get used in the process. But, alright, so we should have biocells. Yes, there we go. Ding. Okay, that wasn't a very exciting ding. Alright, so here is the other option of producing the tea seti seaweed. This isn't... Producing the seaweed isn't particularly the most difficult. The slowest part for me right now is actually converting it into tea seti seaweed, and there's no other way to do that. So I'm gonna have to figure out if processing array would be better or processing factory. Oh, there's the ding. Okay. So now what I want to do is take some of this and some of... we got that. Got that. Actually, let me... I need this. Let me leave that there, I guess. Alright, so we need to get this. No, it's the raw. Shoot. I thought it was the sterile. Well, I guess sterilized wouldn't make sense, would it? Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense, would it? Because if you sterilize it, how are you going to get anything on a petri dish? Dang it! Alright, well, I need to craft up more of this stuff. I think it is the tritanium. I'm just doing, since I don't have it fully automated yet, I'm just doing it one craft at a time here. Alright, so we'll get the 2 buckets of that. I have gone ahead and upgraded this. I'm kind of annoyed because I crafted up a ZPM, not realizing we're going to need a UV one. So I have upgraded this to UV after I just didn't. Also, if you stand here with the door open, the efficiency is not going down on our clean room. I just thought that was kind of funny. But there is that. We'll put some of this in here. And then I'll try to get this. And now when we get this, we can switch this over to not use tritanium at least. But we do need to upgrade our thing to enriched. But yeah, that just gives a much better ratio. But that's going to take me... Oh, I was like, where did this go? Alright, what I'm going to do... Turn that off. I just couldn't get that out that easy. Alright, so there it goes. 180 seconds. That is going to take me a while, but in the meantime, we'll get that done. Alright, but we are moving along. Now we have the mutated living solder. So we have this part of it, we have that. We just need the 2 plasmas and then this infinite thing, which I'll craft that up in between. Like, I'm not going to make recipes for this stuff, I don't think. At least not at this point. So I will craft that up, but... yeah, so we'll get that next episode. Living solder, and then with living solder, that means we can get some new circuits. I don't know how close we are to getting the actual... No, not optical. That's not the next one. Bio... What are they called? BioWare? Bioprocessor? There we go, bioprocessor. That's the next line of circuits, but we need, yeah, we need the biocells for that. And there's living solder somewhere. I don't remember where it is. Anyway, that's gonna be for today. So thanks for watching and have a good one.